Right. Okay. I have two channels on the right and left.
It looks like it's only one.
Exhaust on one channel, this mic on the other. So hopefully the exhaust isn't too loud. So you can let me know if the exhaust is loud. Until then, I get to do what I'm doing. So this is the Haltech being a legacy. I've used this one before. Uh, and second, the owner bought the car with the engine. He was told it was one thing. We tuned it. We had a great time for about a week, and then the heads came on. And turns out it did not have what he was told. It had in it. It had regular PT2 studs and half-inch studs with a full one. So, needless to say, didn't work out in his favor, unfortunately. So, hey, dude, how's it going? Let me know if the fan and car noise is too loud. I might have to adjust my microphones. Hello, Donkey. Yeah. On the what? Yeah. One. Oh, you can take your attention. Yeah. Right. That was two weeks ago. Yeah. If you can get it on there, I don't know what intercooler you have on it. Oh, okay. So probably want to do uh, one of the screw-in ones because the factory SA intercooler is kind of hard to weld on. It's that casting thing stuff. No, that would just be a regular GM1. Uh, yeah. Yep. Okay. So 565. That's a factory value. That's good. So those will work for a VF size turbo. No problem. I don't know. Intake. What's the intake weight? Oh, okay. Sure, sure. Yep. Mhm. Perfect. That sounds good. As long as no leaks, has some fresh fish plugs in it, and the oil's not too old. Um, stock. I like the stock plugs, and I like the ruthenium plugs. Those are the plugs I like. No, ruthenium. Yeah, Ruthenium. Yeah. Yep, sounds good. You're welcome. See you. Very good. So have to do business. One tuning. All right, cool. So yeah, apparently it only does both the left and right channels in one channel, even though it's the opposite two channels. But I'm sure the microphone is going to be a single channel on this laptop. I know on my personal computer it works the left and right, but I want to be able to balance the engine exhaust. I think one thing that's different with 11 is the inability to turn things right to the window. Like you're on a window and it pops up another window, and it doesn't use that new window as the dominant window anymore. You're still stuck on the other window. Behind there somewhere, okay, format, two channels, 72 channels. I guess I just affect the total balance of this, properties, stored it. All right, guys. So here we are. It's a legacy. I forget what turbo it is. It's a turbo of I don't think you recognize by the looks of it, but it's in good shape. Now it's got half-inch head studs, pin mains, things it didn't have before. And I was fighting a weird thing that happened. I did a poll. The boost was really responsive. I added duty cycle. I did another poll, and the boost was lagging. Boost went up, but it was laggy by like 750. I don't know, like a lot of RPM. In fact, at 3,500, it lost almost 4 whole pounds of boost. I went, oh, I can't find anything. So, what I did have cam timing on the previous log versus so either it hit calorie or the cam stuck. That can happen too. All right, well, I found the problem. Why is it they always have problems? All the cars have fucking problems. So annoying. And that's thing annoying. The Haltech. Trying to get it to do the cam correctly. Here we are, cam control. Can't put the can't put the lower the frequency, right? You get higher pressure. It doesn't put in the triggers. It's auto calibrated. zones are quite annoying. It's auto calibrated. Because I don't want to auto calibrate. I want to save this file really quick. Restart. See if it'll recalibrate. Now, something like this could be that it's an old engine, it's got an old solenoid. Could be that the solenoid stuck, it could be, I did feel a few misfires earlier, and when the cams stick advanced, they do misfire. So, at idle, I felt some misfires at idle. So, it's possible this cam has been sticking for a while back and forth. Right now, it shows it's 0. I don't see an option to force recalibration. Yeah, it's super annoying. So I can't put in the offset. Like in every other system, put in the cam for your offset to tell it what it's supposed to see. This thing, this has an automatic calibration function. Let me tell you, it barely does it. Barely does it. So many cars with this stupid Haltech on there. Oh, well, I'm down good. Pretty good. Understand with all. Sounds like from the dollar store. Definitely not. Put down audio right here. Still hard to hear. I have a booster, I guess. Um, audio button. Which side is it? Three. Right, three. Decibels. Yeah. Is that any better? That's the same. I mean, the mic's not facing me. It's like right here. I'm gonna take it out of the exhaust because there's no point in dealing with that. What's weird is like I have the status bar here on OBS. It doesn't show the exhaust vents. It's really annoying. All right, enough of that. All right, let's see it now. 68%. God damn it. Fuck. Yes, sir.
It's the cam. Cam 2 is not. It's either stuck or not moving.
Which one's cam 2?
On this one, fuck if I know. Let's see. I believe it's that one, but what I can do is I can what's the best way to do that? We could unplug one. I can see which one freaks out. I'm gonna start it though real quick.
So it's got one new cam sprocket in and one I had to clean, so it might be that. Would it be that, do you think?
Could be. Yeah. Fire in the hole. Okay, now I want to start.
Plug the solenoid or the cam position sensor?
Either one, because I can force a duty and it'll move or it won't. Now it won't start. What the fuck is going on?
Don't plug.
I won't even start.
Huh?
I won't even start. I want it to start. Trigger system back to what it was. Unless it changed while I was changing screens. 25 WX, no, that's right. 0, 400, 3. Enable. Sensor type. Hall effect. Turn that off. What the fuck is going on? What's this? Updates are in progress? Why would you update the...
What?
It says it's updating the software while I'm using it.
No, I won't start.
Maybe. I don't know. It's fucking bizarre. It was running literally a second ago. Reboot the software again. That is... I hate Haltech. As soon as I said it doesn't let you do the cam trigger angles or and shit, then it was like, fine. Then we're not running anymore.
You don't like me?
No, you don't like me? Fine. Yeah, I don't need you anymore. I don't understand. Like, I'm literally checking my mic volume on my software for my stream, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, let's see what happens. Okay. Key on. All right. Engine stopped. What the fuck is going on? Okay. Let's see. Let's go back to trigger system. See if something changed. No. 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 That should all be good. I'll put this back to 0. Then I'll reset it again. Home signal. Oh, wait. Oh, I fucked it up. Wait a second. What? This is a reluctor. Oh, I must have hit an arrow key. That's what it is. I must have hit an arrow key and changed the Hall effect on accident. Because the crankshaft is a reluctor. It's not a Hall effect. And the home, which is the cam, is the Hall effect. Okay, well, we got that part.
I
All
still
right.
have that one unplugged. The fast and said.
Okay. Cool. Man, did that change the Hall effect while it was running? I don't know. That's bizarre shit. I don't think it would have started. It was like that. All right, engine functions, cam control. Let's go back to that shit. Cam control, intake, cam control tuning, intake again. Yeah. So, all right. So that side's the problem side, I think. Is that the new cam or the used cam?
I'm gonna double check.
Okay. Let's do this. 55%. That should advance the shit out of it. That one's definitely working. Okay. All right. So it's definitely the one he unplugged is the trouble one. Okay. So maybe it's a solenoid. Do you have a solenoid?
Hmm?
Do you have a solenoid we can throw in it?
Yeah, I'm sure I can find one.
Let's grab a solenoid real quick. Let me try that. Yeah, the RPM filter was at 4. I just turned it down to see if that's what was causing the issues. Obviously not. Ideally, you don't want big filters applied to signals unless you have um, noise issues. And I said it to 4 probably at some point before um, because I have a lot of things that get based on RPM. So, for example, um, so like my idle ignition timing, for example, is based on RPM. This one is a fixed. It isn't a PID, so it doesn't need a lot of filtering in that case. If I had it in a PID structure for the idle ignition control, then I would absolutely want good filtering because as the crankshaft slows, the indicator RPM drops. And when that happens, then it's the idle control is going to try and add timing to it to keep the RPM up. Well, it's only a 4-cylinder, and so I only fire once every 180 degrees, which means that after I fire, then I have a slowing down period as I compress on this side. So the crankshaft velocity does this the whole time. And so the indicator RPM does this. And the less filter you have, the more of that wave you get from it. So on the M-trons, for example, they let you determine how many degrees of crankshaft rotation that it should apply the filter for. Basically, like, sample over this and average over that is how the filter works on the M-tron. And many systems actually work that way too. I think Link does as well. I forget. So what will happen is it'll say, okay, so we'll sample the RPM for 270 degrees, and then we'll get the average of that, and that's the indicated RPM. And so you can do filtering like in that method, or you can do this, which is I don't know what kind of filter this is. If it's just like a pass or yeah, I know what kind of filter it is. Honestly, it doesn't say what kind of filter, but ideally, you don't have too much. Too much filter can also lead to delays in sensors responding. Like, say you filter the map sensor, right? The map sensor is in the manifold. The manifold pressure is always doing this as well. So if I over filter the map signal, then changes that are the correct changes as I apply throttle, those will get delayed because the filter will hold the value until, oh, okay, we're above the threshold, and it comes up. So it's more like a derivative style filter on a lot of these. So if I don't have to have it at 4, then I don't want it at 4. LOL, what the fuck? What the fuck? I don't know. What are we what the fucking? Some guy. What are we what the fucking? Let's see. Anyways, so he's gonna change the solenoid. Right now, he's putting the solenoid in. We'll see if the cam behaves. It could be stuck, which happens on these solenoids a lot. We do a lot of solenoids on the dyno where the cams just don't behave. So I didn't. I said this. I saw you, Paul, and I went like that with my fingers. See? But yeah, I don't know how that got set to Hall effect. That's a weird one. But whatever, it's good now. That part's good. Just the cam is still fucked up. Still locked in at 68 degrees. Like I said, we do a lot of solenoids in the dyno, and that makes me wonder because I don't see a lot of people talking about it online or during their dyno tunes. Oh, I had to do the solenoid. Are other people just not catching it? Like I don't know. It's weird. Like especially they drift. Like I'm always checking those cams, make sure they're following each other. And when there's drifting or whatever, then it's solenoid comes out. And like I said, we do a lot. All right. We do a lot of them. So I don't know. All right, let's see what we got. Cam control system, intake. Minimum's back to 15, max 35. Say what? Oh, that's fun. I did that the other day. Is that the old solenoid? Is it stuck? Just look at it and see if it's stuck open before you touch it. Looks like it's forward. We'll find out. Good response there.
Better?
Yeah, now the other one's a little laggy, which we expect.
Cool.
Yeah. But look, that's where the boost went.
Huh?
That's where that boost went. That cam stopped.
So I was just wondering, and then now it moves okay.
So it was jammed up. Something was in it. Yeah.
Because usually they move, super easy like that.
Yeah.
It was like crunchy, and then after like 2 movements, it's okay.
So there's like metal in it?
I cleaned them and I cycled, so I don't know.
Yeah. It's following now. I bet that boost comes back. Let's watch that boost come back. All right, here goes. Yep.
Better.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? Something as simple as that.
Better than having to take the sprocket off.
Oh yeah. Fuck that
So
noise.
it's got a new one on that side. This side I rebuilt.
Yep.
And when I tore it apart, it was gooey and like crunchy. It was bad. That's why when I saw it, I was like,
You're like, please don't be that. Please don't be
yeah, it was
that.
I was new one. I was like, I want a new one feel already. But
Yep. It's the solenoid. They usually the solenoid.
yeah, especially when they're like reused a bunch of times. Like, that's when I see it fails. If it's on like a second or third or fourth engine.
Right. We've seen a lot of those. That's for sure. All right. Cool. Well, that makes more sense. I don't know if you could hear me at the beginning of the stream when I mentioned that I was concerned as to where the boost went. How I did a poll, and all of a sudden the boost got laggier. That's why I was checking the cams. Well, sure enough, that's what it was. All right, so let's get back to this log here. Oh, you guys can't see the log, can you? No, you can't. Okay, should I swap my wagon into my sedan chassis? I don't know what your wagon is. I don't know anything. I don't know what that means. You can stick your whole wagon inside of it? Wagons are awesome. Well, now I'm peeking the mics. Wagons are awesome. So I mean, I wouldn't be in a hurry to take apart a wagon unless it's wrecked or something. Then that'd make more sense. Okay, let's get the logger on here so you can see the logger. So I'm gonna show you my log. Yeah, I'm gonna show you a log in real time. Who does that? Who does that? Haltech logger. Okay, there it is. Okay, and you guys should see that now. Okay, so this is the logger for Haltech. It's an okay logger. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's really finicky. Like sometimes you can select a parameter, hit enter, and it'll display it on a new trace automatically. Other times it does nothing. You're like, new one? And you double click it, nothing. You gotta right click and hit new trace. It's super annoying. Sometimes works great, sometimes it doesn't. And that sometimes is from one log to the next. It just magically stops working sometimes. It's a pain in the ass, honestly. I dislike it a lot. Okay, but anyway, so here we are. We want to look at our boost control pressure. That is what this is right here. And we'll see we peaked at 19.1. It shows the peak right here, the high arrow. And then the current reading is where this is, right? So 18, 19, 18, 5, okay, like that. Cool. So now we're going to go to our target. We're going to look for our target pressure corrected. That's right here. Just drag it on. And you can see here, definitely can't get the spool that fast down here. But I have it this way anyways because the higher the gear, the more likely I am to hit that target. And I don't want to have this high target at low RPM in a high gear because I like to keep heads on engines. But what you can see is we actually went over the target right here, and we're under it right here. Now what's peculiar to me, though, is that it shows the duty cycles climbing, even though we're above, so, huh. That's weird. Let's bring the error up. Okay, well, error tracks, though. Error shows that we're high, and then error shows that we're low. So the error is doing its thing. I just don't understand right now. I'm looking at it. If the error is high, it should be lowering duty cycle. We can see clearly here it's going up. So interesting. But we can see, however, that was needed because the boost was falling and we need to get there. So I'm suspecting that a little bit of that is derivative in the boost control. It saw that it was dropping, so it was adding to it. And the boost control system activates right here. And oh, actually, you know what? Yes, we got a big negative initial, even though we're less. Is that negative? No, it's 30. Okay, let me get my integral up. We'll take a look at that real quick. Integral gain. Oh, that's the value of the integral. That's not how much integral it added. So that's not going to be useful for you. That won't help you. Integral output. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. So this shows that the boost control system was actually removing boost via the integral, but not much. Now I'm looking at this going, hey, I got a decent sized error of 1.5 pounds, and the boost control system hardly made any difference. So let's go derivative output, see if this is where our damping is from. It's not. The derivative hardly had anything going on too. So that must mean that proportional was doing too much work and we need to adjust it. And there it is. So here's our proportional output. It was pulling 3%, which is fine. And it did a decent job really stopping it, and that's actually really good. the proportional looks like it did an actually a pretty good job of doing what it's supposed to do. I could probably actually increase proportional a smidge more, but the integral and derivative definitely need to be increased because we're not seeing enough action from those parts of the system. And just as a reminder, this is a PID system. Proportional integral derivative is what they stand for. Proportional is the instantaneous error. So it is an output that is proportional to the instantaneous error. So at this point in time, I have an error of 1.7, and that means my proportional will give me an output of negative 2.9 every single time that I have that error. There's no time base, there's nothing. There's only, is it on, is it off, and if it's on, that's what I will get. Whereas integral output here we see is only 1.2, and that's after a period of time. And that's what integral does. This line right here, this blue line that comes down real slow, it's kind of whitish blue. Let's see if I can highlight it here. Integral output, it's a white line. And so you see it slowly comes down through this portion, and then it starts to go back up again when it's below. Clearly not active enough. Only had like basically a maximum of 1.7%, and it only got back up to 0, not even up to 0 by the end of it. So definitely not active enough to do anything at all for the boost control system. And derivative, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, also not doing jack. So I need to make the boost control system more active. That's what we can see here by this. All right, Paul asks, I swapped my wagon into my sedan chassis. He says he has a bare 04 sedan chassis and a full 04 wagon. Can't make up mind whether to resto mod the sedan or swap the wagon into the sedan. I've been planning to finish my wagon with sedan fenders on all 4. I would say to mid-engine the Waggy. This is Joel. He can help us with the LT1. I'll let him know you're interested. Oh, sweet. Mid-engine the Waggy with like a fucking H6 or an LS or something, and make it rear-wheel drive, and then put all the wagon stuff into the sedan. All right, so let's make this boost control system more responsive. Okay, so let me go here to boost control. Let's put this on the boost control tab, actually. There we go. Now we saw the proportional. It had a decent output, 1.7. That's not bad on a system like this, but we want a little more. And I'm going to put a little more aggression on the far ends too, so that it's not too active around the target. The integral, you see we have big aggression on top, but that's over 7 pounds away, and really our boost control system is set up that it doesn't even activate to like 3.8 or 3.6 psi from the target. So this isn't going to do shit. All it's doing is giving us a slope up to in between the two. So obviously it's not enough anyway, so we got to add to that. I'm doing a big change. That's 50% more that I added to the integral. So 50% increase in integral is going to be a significant increase. Derivative here, same deal. Like I said, our booster system only activates at 3 point something. That one click there, that's doubling the derivative. This click here is tripling the derivative. So you got to remember when you're doing this, you're like, oh, I'm only adding 0.2. Well, what was the value before? Was it 0.1? Because if it's 0.1 and you go to 0.2, you just doubled that value. You get twice the output that you got before. And so in this case, I tripled the derivative, had no effect, only to 0.1. So in theory, it would only get to like 0.3 or so, which again isn't enough. So I'm going to go a little more. I'm going to do that. Oh, that was a big change. Okay, we'll do that. That's like 9 times. So instead of 0.1, I'm going to get like 1 in theory. We'll see how that behaves. And then the integral, I made that a lot bigger. If I added 50% to that, which might not be enough because like you saw, I only got to 2% on the integral. So that means I only get to 3% on the integral. So I'm going to go a little more. Just do a little more like that. See what that does. Now I increased everything, so very, very potentially could create a boost control system that oscillates at this point. Like you go, which, you know, which would actually be good because then at least I know I got to a point. I can see where the wiggle is, see how close we are to the target, and then determine which one of those parameters, the PI or the D, need to come down and cause an oscillation. It's kind of cool. Like once you cause an oscillation, then you can see exactly where it's at and see what parameters having a big effect and tweak that one and adjust other stuff. So it can be beneficial to go a little too far with a step, but you only go a little too far. Because a lot too far is, it's too much. So okay, that part's good. Fuel is dead nuts 11.0 across the board in the higher boost levels, so that's good. Let's check that cam though. I want to check those cams since I just made a bunch of changes to the cam system. Let me bring the bring that logger back up again. So now we're going to do another trace, and we're going to look at the cams, see what we got. Cam control angle. I double clicked it. That should have started a new trace, but of course it didn't because fuck me, Haltech. Okay, so whoops, I got off of the one I wanted to get. That was on. So let's try this again. New trace. There we go. Let's right click this. Move this trace. Okay, so our cam 1 hovered right around our target, which was 30. Cam 2 was even closer to our target because I said the other one was kind of a little laggy. You see here, went up a little bit, kind of a little bit there, and this one stayed higher through here. All right, well, let's see what our target was because really, one of these could be better than the other. Well, one of these is definitely better than the other, but one of these could be more off than we thought. Looks like the number 2 follows it closer. I got a little dip right here. I don't like that dip. I'm going to adjust that cam a bit to hold a little more through here. And this thing drops out to 0 around red line, which is fine. This 30 might be too much because while I did get a bunch of spool back, I didn't get it all back. So this 30 might have actually been too much. I'm going to drop the 30 back down to 25 and try and run it right here a little bit. That'll make this step less too because it'll blend more into this. But I do want to increase it right here. And to know what that is, I got to bring the RPM up to know what spot that is. So let's put this on a new trace. And that is around the 5,000 RPM area. So let's take a look at our cams. Cam control. Engine function, cam control. I got to bring that window up for you. Intake, target angle. Yeah, dude, what's up? What's up?
On buckets. So this 5.04, is that measured in millimeters?
Yes, 5.04 millimeters. Yep.
That's what I thought. Thanks.
You're welcome. Usually, like, you get a lot of cam advance, you can get really fast spool. And I've had some cars blow my mind with how much faster they spooled with even just 5 more degrees of advance. But in this case, it looked like I lost some. So I don't want to do that, clearly. Let's do this. I do that. And then 5,000 mark. That's okay. Let's look at that log again real quick. 5,000. Target was 20. Okay, where is that? I don't see that target. We weren't 20 PSI, were we? Maybe. Maybe we were. Right, take a look at that. Okay. All right. We got that. Anything else I want to look at? Let's see how aggressive our timing is. It should be conservative because I always cut it back a bunch until we get everything situated. And I'm going to do it on this one. Why not? 7 degrees and 14. Yeah, so I got 7 at peak torque and 14 at redline on pump gas. Super safe. And honestly, it's making a 420 wheel. So I'm pretty happy about that. I think after this 1 or 2 polls, verifying the boost control is now hitting my targets and all that, then I'll throw some time in. Let's see how much power we can add to it. It'll probably be quite a bit, honestly. Now, another thing that I've said before, and I'll say it again, if the cars are flex fuel, I tune them extra conservative on pump. Just because you have the ability to add horsepower by pouring it in the tank, you might as well give you a little extra safety on the bottom end, especially for that bad tank of gas. And really, I would prefer that my customers try and keep their ethanol around 30% anyways on the daily drivers, because 30% works really well, adds a lot of safety, adds a lot of power, and it's just a good way to go. So um, I always keep it extra conservative on the pump gas, and so I won't be cranking on hard on pump gas. Basically, the moment we start. But I got ethanol here to throw in a minute. I don't know if you heard that. There was a little oscillation in there. The question is, was that oscillation the cams, or was that oscillation the boost? I mean, I just added a bunch of activity to the boost control system. So the chances are highly likely that the oscillation was the boost. So we're going to find that out. We close the previous one here. Close this guy like so. And I'm just going to delete this one like that. I'm just delete all three of them. Fuck it. Delete RPM and drag the new one to RPM. And then we'll see. Okay. There's my RPM trace. Boost control actual pressure. Should be able to double click it and show up in a new window, and it's not doing it because it hates me. All right, boost control closed loop output. Okay, now see that's a little more activity on it. It's pretty linear though, honestly. All right, actual pressure. Okay, it's flatter. There's some oscillations of the pressure, but the output doesn't show that. Let's double check the duty cycle. Uh-oh. Now there we go. So now we see the duty cycle. It's definitely all around it. And that's where those oscillations came in. So it's good. Like I said, we want to get a little overzealous on it. And I say that's not too bad. I heard the oscillations. You see on here, the dyno graph on the dyno doesn't even show it, but I could hear them. So we know that we hit that threshold. We're right there. We're just a little too active. So now let's check our outputs and see which one was too active. Integral was dead. Integral still not sufficient. I got to add more to the integral. I just did not go. I didn't even get 3% out of it. I got 1% again. So why? Why did I get so little of the integral? Probably because the derivative was too active. So let's go to the derivative right here. And there we go. That derivative pretty much mirrors the actual solenoid duty cycle that we had. So like I said, I put a ton on it. And sure enough, look at these changes. 7, 9, 8. So huge swings in duty cycle affected by the derivative. Let's go to proportional now. Proportional output was small wiggles. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah, so we see here proportional. The highest proportional was 1.5. Highest derivative was 9.5, almost 9.3. And then highest integral was 0.9. So derivative, got to cut it down. Too active. Now, we can actually add axes in here too for the derivative that make it only active at certain RPM, make it a little more aggressive when the boost is coming towards the target, and then after we've hit it, it dulls down. Like we can do that. That takes a lot of time. That would be a real pain in the ass. So this one, AVCS single, yes, just intakes. This is an 07 legacy. And so it's just the intakes. And I fucking did not bring up the logs for you to see while I was talking about it. I'm sorry, I'm going to bring that up again. My bad. Here you go. And, oh, yep, see? Down here, so you can't see the log. So here we go. See that this is the actual boost duty cycle right here. that is what was output, and that's why I could hear the boost wiggling around. And then right here is the derivative, and when you see here, the derivative is driving that duty cycle, clearly driving that duty cycle. So cut that derivative down and increase the integral some more, and we'll be able to start hitting these boost targets pretty good. So we're going to go back to boost control. Change that. I need 2 screens on here is what I need. I need 2 screens. I actually have 2 screens. I have a mobile screen. It actually works pretty good. It's pretty sweet. All right, derivative. Remember, I multiplied that by 10, so we're going to bring that back down. Okay, brought that down a bunch. Integral, we're adding to this. That's a big addition to integral. Do some more like that. And we're going to add some more to proportional. Like that. Those are big additions. Now we'll see if we can make it wiggle on proportional alone. One method that you can use to do the PID controls is zero out integral, increase proportional until the boost starts to oscillate. Then add a little bit of derivative to it to see if you can stop it from oscillating. If you can't, then reduce the proportional back down a little bit. But get to where your boost now becomes steady with, you basically want the highest proportional that you can have steady boost with. So it's where your boost is steady with a high proportional value, and the derivative kind of steers it and keeps it smooth. And then add the integral, and the integral will count it up and pull you to your target. That's one method of doing it that a lot of people use, and is usually pretty successful. So we're going to do this one more time. Gustavo, welcome, dude. How's it going? How's it going? Let's do this. Oh, cool. I got a gas light on, too, which is good because I'm almost done pump gas anyway. So, got a gas light, means I can put some ethanol in. She's going to be hot to trot. All right, there was a little hesitation, but a little wiggle. Right as the boost came in, I heard it go whoop, whoop, a little bit right at the beginning. The question is going to be, is that from what's it from? So let's go right to that. Boost control, solenoid duty. Right there, still wiggly. Is it still due to derivative, or is it now because of integral? Is the question. I got to bring it up for you guys so you can see it. There we go. Wait, what? That's the wrong screen. Let's close that one. And close that one. Okay, we have this one. There we go. Is it normal to have reduced cam timing and a low boost? Is it, I'm not sure if I understand what you're saying. Is it normal to have reduced cam timing and a low boost mid-range RPM? The stock maps have some dips in there. But yours is straight 25 for most of that area. I'm trying to think what stock map you're talking about. I don't know how many stock maps that have a dip in that area. I know that right around 3 grand, there is a resonance on these engines, and that resonance causes reversion, and you will have a significant drop in VE right around 3-ish. It could be 25, it could be between 25 and 3, really. You'll get some reversion, and so you can either have a dip in your VE table, or you can drop the cam timing in that region, reduce the overlap to stop the reversion from happening. I haven't addressed that area in here, thus why you'll see that it's 25s through there. If you look at any of my M-Tron cars or Link cars or whatever, what you'll see is that there is that drop in valid value. Okay, thank you. So right here-ish, especially in this low load region right here, actually, will be really low, and then here will just be less. So right here, something like that. And then you get this dip right here. And whether it's 3,000 or 25 or 28, I don't know on this car yet. I haven't quite done it. But almost every EJ has it right here in this region. There's some reversion that occurs in there. And what will happen is you have it flat like that was flat, then what you'll see is you'll get to your VE table and you'll have a dip in that region, which, oops, down here, which I don't have on here yet, but, you know, yes. Now, as far as other cars, there's the TGV open and close map, so make sure you're not thinking of TGVs open versus TGV closed. TGVs closed, you're going to have less cam timing in some areas, and you're going to have a lot less ignition advance as well. And so you'll see a lot of this ignition advance due to improved burn speed. Oh man, see, I had the fucking thing up. I'll show you again. Show you right here. So, bring it back to Haltech again. Go back to cam timing. So right here in this region, right here, I just changed it just now because we were talking about it. But somewhere in this range here, this 3,000 RPM range, we're going to have a dip in VE due to reversion. So we can lower it like this, and that also will take care of it, or at least minimize the effects. And you'll see it on a lot of dyno graphs when there's a straight value like that. I don't have the dyno being logging that low, so we're not going to see it. But you'll see some have a little dip right there. The torque will be up, and then they kind of dip, and they come back up, and then boost comes in. That's not uncommon to see that, and doing this can help stop that. And if you don't, what happens is you'll get like low levels in your VE table in this region right here, that same RPM region. Looks like I have a small, oh, here's mine right here, 25-ish. You see right here, it's lower, 110, 103, 104, so here's the dip. So there is a dip here at 25 on this one when I was tuning before, so it's not 3. It's this one right here. It's really probably 28, to be honest with you. It's probably 28 is where it's at. And that's typically where it's at, right in that range. And that'll show up on cars, but I don't recall the brakes having like that. Yeah, that's the spot. Okay. Yeah, but also, like I said, be careful of the TGV open versus closed maps. They are different for a very good reason. Yeah. All right, so I adjusted the boost control system, right? Did I do it? Oh, fuck, I talked about it. But did I do it? That's the question. I think I did. Yes, I did do it. That's right, because I changed boost control. There we go. Yeah, right there. All right, let's do one pull. See if we stabilize this boost some more. Mine made the proportional integral 2 active, but we definitely dulled down the derivative, so that should stop the big spikes. And then we'll have some timing to it. I didn't hear any oscillation. The boost sounded steady. So we'll see how close we are to the target now. We dulled down the derivative, and so that's going to make it steady. But whether or not it's enough to, if we have enough everything else to get us to our target, is another story. But look at this. Now our integral has got a whole 5% on it, 5.1%, 5.2%. So now we have action in the integral happening, which is good because we had basically no action before. Oopsie, that was too fast. Oh, I got to bring the damn thing up again. Let's do this. Here you go. So this one, right? Let me close that one for you so you'll see it. Nope and nope. There we go. There's our data log viewer. You can see here. Now we got some action on the integral. Look at that. The integral's working. Let's go to proportional. Hey, proportional's got some action. Now we get this little wiggle here, which is interesting. Let's look at our derivative. Derivative, small wiggles, and I'm good with that. Small wiggles are good. Biggest one was 2.8%. Okay, that's not bad. That's right here at the end. Actually, that's interesting. That's going to be like a chatter or something else. So let's bring up the boost actual pressure. A lot better. Still some wiggles. Some of that could be, I need to add a little filter to it, because look right here coming in. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. So if I can filter the map sensor a little bit, that should help, because that wiggle, I mean, it's not like that's actually happening. or not like you want that carrying through. There is going to be wiggles, but we don't want that carrying through the boost control system, because to the boost control system, this should be a steady pressure, and it's not. That little wiggle is going to create issues. If the system was active right here, you would see these things happening based on those wiggles. So integral looked really good. Proportional's a smidge aggressive. No, only 3%. Fine. Yeah, so I don't mind the proportional. I think I'm going to dull down the derivative just a smidge more, and I'm going to see if I can apply a filter to the map. That's my plan for that. Let's look at my ignition demands one more time. I didn't change it, but let's just compare it real quick. Should angle, bam, 7 and change, basically 8 degrees at peak boost ish, and then I got a drop off right here. What's going on there? 14, and then it goes falls right off. Interesting. I didn't let off yet. I actually carried that one a little higher RPM than I had the other ones. Is that why? Oops. God damn it, I hate nice mouse pads. Well, RPM kept going to 74, so right here. So, not control system, must have picked up too much engine noise, which would be very interesting to have any knock at such low timing. So, it most likely means that the engine noise is just not set. Nope. Wait, is it even turned on? Oh, it's not. That's weird. I could swear the knock system fully functional on this one. There's the threshold. There's the state. Signal. Oh, okay, there's a signal. It's just not showing. Oh, it's 0.01 dB. What the hell's going on? Alright, so we'll change this. Let me get rid of this guy. There it is. Okay. Alright, so we're good there. So let's check the time map. Oh, once again, I'm not showing you guys that because... Oh, yeah, you weren't seeing it. Okay. Now let's go to the map. How is the cat doing? Oh, no, the cat's gone. Cat's out. Cat got evicted. So when I abused that cat, it was really bad. It was getting even worse, and it was the day that my wife's 83-year-old father is coming in, and her brother was going to sleep in the office, and he was attacking everyone in the office. So we're like, nope, this cat is not our problem. Shouldn't be our problem. This should be somebody else's problem. The owners. So we got rid of it. Took him back. Feel bad, and wife feels bad. She misses him already. That should wear out pretty quick. But yeah, I just can't have that. Cannot have that. Ignition timing base. See, I took a bunch out of it for the break-in. This huge hole right here. Can you guys see it? Yes, you can. Right here, I just went and took like 5 degrees out of it. So that's why there's only 7 pounds of boost, or 7 degrees at our boost level there at 17 pounds. So I'm gonna throw it back in here in just a second. But I do. Looks like right here is where I pull it out. Right there. That was 10 degrees. That's too many. There we go. That's 3 degrees. So I have 3 degrees back into it. Okay. It's not being told to pull timing, but it did. Why did the timing drop? There's no knock trim. Yeah, there's no knock trim. Why did timing drop so much? and it just dumped out. I must have the rev limiter set lower. Let's check the rev limit. Main limiter, 75. Soft cut. History says 200. Cutoff range, 500. So 200. Okay, so I guess I was approaching that. Maybe that's what it was. It still seems weird to me. Let's go to my corrections. Air temp could have been really high. Look at that. See if that was too high. RPM, here we go. RPM limiter correction. 200 before pulls 2 degrees. Okay, so there it is. And by the limiter pulls 10 degrees. So that's what it was right there. Yeah. Okay. So I bet that's what it was. To test that, I'm just going to raise up the rev limiter a little bit to 78. And see if it doesn't. It pulls 75 cleanly now. And I'm also going to check my intake air temp sensor on my log real quick. See how hot it's getting. Intake air temp. Oh, that time I double clicked, it worked. Really flat. 23C, pretty much the whole way. 22C, 23C. And in my corrections, that is the very top end. About 2 degrees, looks like. Looks like about 2 degrees. Let me double check that. No, no degrees. 23C. Did I say 23C? Not 32C, right? 23C, yeah. Okay. All right. Double check that boost control one more time. Overall, I was pretty happy with it. Let's see if I can find a map filter. I got a filtering of 4 at 80%. I don't know. See, here's, derivative filter right there, 5. Okay. I wouldn't mind adding an axis to that too, honestly. Oops. See, this is dumb. I hate their wizard. But that's not going to work, obviously, because I got to make that 55. And have cells in the table. Well, great. So just fill it in then for me. They have the worst axis wizard of any freaking system I've ever used. It's terrible. It's the most worthless fucking wizard ever. Sure, that works. Wait, did I say 8 up there? I said 8. Okay. Is 8 not allowed? They say it's not allowed. Okay, I guess 6 is the highest value. Let's go 8. All right, see if that clears that up. right now.
Before you do that, I'm gonna go in the humidity ethanol soon. Because I saw 450. Like that's a pretty spicy podcast too.
Yeah, I added 2 degrees and worked on the boost a little bit. So
55 on pump is spicy.
yeah,
That size of turbo?
I don't know what size the turbo is.
What?
Does anyone know what size the turbo is?
No, it's a small Zona.
It's a Zona rotor,
That's all I know.
right? That's all we know. I thought, oh. All right, let's look at this log here. Let me bring the log up for you. Dude, it's so bad. I know it's worth SolidWorks. That's a stretch. Poor cat. Yeah, man, it sucks. I mean, I really wanted to give that cat a wonderful home, and but I just walked through the fucking living room and he started attacking me and shit, and that's just no good. Can't do that. You know, can't have that. So sorry, cat. I felt bad too. Like my wife put him. He went right into his kennel, didn't fight at all. Sat in his kennel. I talked to him. He looked at me. He wasn't hostile at all. He was in his kennel. Like what? How crazy are you? Like I couldn't even like talk to the cat otherwise. He started hissing and growling at me. Goes in his kennel, doesn't say a word. I was like, fuck, dude. I felt so bad. I just wanted to give that poor fucking cat a better life, but I mean, he can't. I didn't go to my office for like a week because every time I'd go in there, he'd fucking attack me. So like, I gotta work. I gotta do stuff. He didn't go anywhere else. The other cats didn't like him. I can only do so much, you know. So it sucks. I really wish he could have. Okay, there you go. So look at this. Wait, is it showing? Make sure I turn it on for you guys. It did not. Here you go. All right, look at the right here. See the wiggles way less now. So that wiggle's gone through here. So we know that we're getting that map filtered appropriately in here because it shouldn't be wiggling through there. The boost control does not do that. That's just manifold resonance. Now we got a smidge of wiggle here. Now that most likely is going to be due to the actual boost control. So let's see what we got. I'm going to solve my duty cycle. There it is. Okay, so on duty cycle, that's a 37, that's a 33. So I got a 4% wiggle right there as the system comes active. This is the base table. System goes active. We're slightly above target. So pull some down, gives us that little wiggle. So I need to lower the base table a smidge right here. And then this is pretty steady. Like it's barely going up or down. And I'm not seeing a direct correlation between the duty cycle and this. I think I should lower the duty cycle in the solenoid. That might help. So I'm going to drop the solenoid duty down to like 28 or 25. And that might help us get a little better response out of it. Outside of that, it looks pretty good. It's at 33 right now. I'm just going to 28. We're at 5 hertz. That gives us, by doing that, back to this logger here, by doing that, what will happen is it'll spend a little more time with air going into the valve, essentially. What else can it do? It can alter the resonance in the boost control lines. If the booster lines are a certain length, they can develop resonance, and you kind of stall the air out. It won't actually go into the solenoid or into the gate or out of the gate effectively. And so, tweaking the frequency back and forth a little bit, you can really find the spot where the system like responds to a change in duty cycle really well, and you don't have oscillations and waviness. So that's always something to play with. Just because it's made to run at 30, they say, or 33, doesn't mean you can't run it less. Whereas like drive-by wire throttle bodies, for example, isn't the exact same thing, but it's similar. If you have one that you're having a difficult time, or it's either laggy or the boost is blowing it shut, lower the frequency. Lower the frequency, it increases the amperage and increases the motor torque. The boost control system can be very similar to that in that way. It's not really amperage in this case, but you get more flow rate through the line if that valve's up a little longer. It has time for that difference pressure to activate for it to, put air in there a little bit. So don't be afraid to tweak that that frequency back and forth a smidge and see if it helps your boost control. Because like right here, this is such a small change. I mean, I've got 41.9 right there. I got 40.8, right? So I've got between here and here, I've got like 0.5% to 1%. It shouldn't make that big of a difference on the boost control. 0.5% shouldn't give us 0.5 pound. It doesn't make sense. So tweaking that frequency might aid a bunch in what we're doing right here. So let's see. Now let's go to the ignition advance. I added ignition. You guys saw that. Let's see what it did. I mean, the power picked up a ton on here. So let's see, ignition angle. Now we got 11 degrees. That's a little more than I want. It's a little more. I mean, it's only 18 pounds, and it's at 4,400 RPM. So it's not like it's super aggressive, but again, like I was saying before, with the pump gas, I like to have it extra conservative, and that's not really extra conservative. So I might pull 0.5 degree out through this area, maybe a degree out in this area, get it close to 10, and let the ethanol do all the fun times in here. Worst students, your discussion, anti-manifold length and runner tuning. Yeah, so all right. Sorry, I had to think of how I would start that discussion. Okay, so if I'm looking at resonance of a pipe, and I have a short pipe, how or what would the resonance of a short pipe be versus the resonance of a long pipe of the same diameter, right?
Good to go.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Got the system down with the funnel not needing two people. Just push against it with the
Right.
My budget.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Nice. I realized I had changed the graph to torque. $455. So 455 wheel on fucking pump gas. That's a lot on this dyno. That's a lot. Okay, let's turn off this logger and select the tune. Let's go over here and switch my ignition. Go to my base. And 9. There's a jump right there. I want you to go down 1 degree of press. Okay. That and you to go down. Oh, it's up right there. Right there. Okay. Anyway, so we get the intake manifold resonance is much like resonance of a tube. It's the same sort of thing. And what this is the whole lesson, okay? This is the whole lesson plan of a discussion. So I'm trying to like condense it and think about it for a second. Okay. Since the beginning of engine creation, you want to design your engine around a certain target. Now, this is something domestic guys have had right for a long time, which is rare that I ever say that, and I'm saying that now. They've had right for a long time, and import guys largely have not. And that is that you need to get your parts to coincide and meet a common goal. Okay. What happens a lot with a lot of the import guys is there's like, oh, this is a race manifold. I want that. Oh, this is a whatever. I want that. And then getting things that, oh, I want that torque. I'm gonna buy this. Oh, this turbo spool's fast. And they have a lot of stuff that doesn't match. So when something is hitting its efficient zone, something else is leaving it. And so you just don't get superior performance anywhere. It's a huge issue with the import guys. It happens all the time. So when it comes to choosing parts in your engine, you need to choose ones that have the same goal. If you have a gigantic turbo, you're probably not going to want a long runner manifold, because a long runner manifold is going to aid in torque, not top end horsepower. So small long runners are going to be high velocity. They're going to have a different resonance, and everything else is going to go and create more torque. But if you're going to have a big, huge turbo that's going to say 700, 800 horsepower, you're going to want to have shorter primaries, bigger primary runner on your manifold, so that the resonance of that manifold and the velocity in that port is reaching its peak, where the turbo is reaching its peak and everything. Now, what people don't realize, this is really a motherfucker, and it works with just about everything. Regardless of the medium, a signal in a pipe or a wire typically travels at the speed of sound or the speed of light. So a signal travels at the speed of light. But the thing in the wire, the electrons, do not. They move at like 40 centimeters per second. So the electrons are traveling slow compared to the signal that's traveling along that wire. Much in that same regard, in an exhaust, the pulses from the exhaust are traveling at the speed of sound, while the exhaust gas is traveling less than that. In the intake manifold, it's the same deal. Pulses are traveling near the speed of sound, and the air is moving less than that. So when it comes to your resonance tuning, you choose your length based on the speed of sound and find out what the resonance will be at what RPM your resonance will be. But what you also want to do is find your smallest diameter that you can run without your port velocity exceeding the speed of sound. Now this thing is crazy, right? But when our port velocity tries to exceed Mach 1, well, it doesn't. It basically chokes out at that point. So we want to ensure that our port or intake manifold velocity doesn't hit the speed of sound, but gets close. And then we need to tune the length based on the resonance. So it's technically diameter too, right? So you need to find out the diameter for the flow rate, find that, and then get the length based on the resonance that you want for your RPM range, where that speed, airflow speed, the velocity of the airflow through the pipe reaches that point too. So it's like this two-handed or this double-sided equation that you got to kind of figure out. And that'll get you the widest power band you can have, with emphasis being on the top end. If you don't care so much about the top end, you want more low end, well, then you need to raise that velocity lower in the RPM range, and then lengthen the runner to move your resonance down as well. So, and that goes with all manifolds, exhaust manifolds, intake manifolds, whatever. You have that. Those two sides that you're chasing. You're chasing the resonance and you're chasing velocity in the runner. Okay, so now he filled me up with some ethanol now. We got 10 gallons of ethanol in here. Our fuel trim went to 5%, so it's not bad. It's not too far off. Where is my ethanol reading? Trigger, fuel pressure, fuel level, ethanol. I don't see ethanol in here. Cam, AFR tuning. Let's see, race map, wideband. I thought I had ethanol on one of my freaking one of my pages. I checked it earlier. tuning. Is that the one? Ah, there it is. So now we're at 68. Okay, so we're at 68. Before I do anything, though, I want to make sure that I don't have anything crazy in here. So fuel comp scalar correction. At higher pressures, I'm adding 5 degrees of timing up top, 4 down here. At really high pressures, a lot less here because I don't blow the heads off. Wait, are you guys seeing this? Yes. At real high pressures at lower RPMs, I don't blow the heads off, so I'm not adding as much timing. I have the lower back on the top end again. That's just so that we don't break shit. Here I have my blending ratio based on ethanol content. You see I have a lot coming in here because it's not going to run 98%. I'm going to tune it basically for 80. So over 80, he's not going to get anything out of it. RPM limiter is the same. Don't care about that. Oh, that's not the one I'm looking for. So I did timing. I like the timing. Oh, boost. Let's go to boost now. Function. I closed out an accident. Boost control. Corrections. Target pressure flex fuel. So here I'm adding 6 psi. And right now we were at 18, so that's okay. It's a good start spot. I like that spot. It's going to really add a bunch of power to it. And this is the output of the duty cycle, the solenoid. Really, turbos tend to spool faster on ethanol, so I don't usually need to add any duty cycle. If anything, I end up having to reduce it sometimes. So that's why that's here. It's at 0. We'll find out if I got to reduce any based on that. So I like that. So the timing's safe, and the boost looks like it's going to be safe. Let's go to the fuel corrections, lambda corrections, fuel composition, and I have it leaning us out quite a bit, which I like. And we're going to run right at that 25 psi ramp-ish, right around there on this pole in theory. And hopefully we got enough fuel pump for this. That's what we're watching. We're watching the lambda, which is down here. Make sure that goes rich and follows the target enough in this pole to make sure that it's got enough fuel on it. All right, I had a boost oscillation on there, and the lambda did not track as good as I would have hoped. But it wasn't looking like it was going to break it, so I didn't let out. Okay. So let's get rid of this one. I'll leave that there if I could. I'm sure there's a way to use this logger better that I don't know how to do, where you can just tell it to populate with the new log, all the stuff you already have selected in there. I'm sure that's in there. I would hope that's in there. Otherwise, what's the purpose of this logger? So I'm gonna assume that. I'm gonna blame it on myself that I don't know how to use it. I'll blame it on myself because I don't want to be mad. I'm mad because it's shit design. If it is a shit design. All right, let's make sure these other logs are closed though. That one, that one, that one. All right, there we go. This one here. Okay. Let me show you the logger. Okay, now you see this timing's got a blip, and I heard a boost oscillation in there, and as such, the ignition advance blipped. So that makes sense. Boost control pressure, trace, and sure enough, boost went up to 23. Oh, that's not bad. And down to 21, and then I'll say, now hold on a second. That can't be that much above the target, because I had the target pretty close to that. Oh, wow. Okay. So that means that my base duty is too low. Because that means that the base duty dropped too quick. Because that wouldn't have pulled down on derivative by itself, and integral and proportional wouldn't have pulled it down either. So my base duty is too low, and they're trying to add too much duty cycle to hit those targets. So we're going to find that here. What is it right here? Solenoid duty table. We'll see it goes and drops. right there. And you can see base duty is too low, and integral has counted this thing up to, oh wow, huh. That's all this turbo has to offer. I mean, it's not a huge turbo. The fact that it hit 500 wheels is already surprising, but that's 80-something% right there. So my base duty here was 43.4 with a target pressure of 23.6. So let me go to my tune real quick and bring that up so you can see it. Go to tune, go to my boost. I got a glare for some reason. Boost control. Base duty cycle. You see I have a flat line through here just because I didn't know how high we're going to go. But our target was here-ish. Let me double check the log again and take a look at it. 43.4 with 23.5. All right. Can you guys see my tune? Yes, you can. Okay. 43.4, so right in here in this range. So we can raise this up a lot. The boost drops so darn much. Okay. And we'll bring that one up to meet it. Okay. And I gotta bring the target pressure down. It's not doing it. Okay. We'll go back to look at the PID stuff, see how that was, see if it wiggled too much on me or not. Let's bring that back up. Let's look at our PID controls here. Integral. Nope. Went down. Nice gradual increase, which we can see in the duty cycle going up. Nice gradual increase. They tried really hard. Derivative. As expected, very little movement on the derivative because the boost was smooth with all the mapping, or the map filter we got. Might have a smidge too much map filter, honestly. We could probably pull a smidge of filter out of it. So derivative was responding to that filter, which you'd expect, like I said, to expect to see derivative stuff respond to changes. I talked about earlier having a RPM filter because derivatives that based on RPM wiggle a lot. We'll say with that map, and as you can see by the activity of the derivative changing as I change this filter, it definitely has a significant. Yeah, see, it's trying to add significantly right there. And it added how much? 13. And still can't get it in. Yep. All right. So we'll see if we can get her to get in a little more, but she ain't making up top. That's all it's got. Actual pressure is 20 psi with 90% duty cycle on the gate, 85% on the gate. So I could add pressure to the top of the gate if I wanted to, but I don't like having a boost control system that'll be that sensitive with top pressure on it. And we can see already that the turbo is kind of done. I mean, to go from 17.9, basically 18 psi to 24 psi took almost 50% duty, and that really tells us that the turbo doesn't have a lot in it. The back pressure is going up a lot at that point in time. So, yeah, timing's pretty conservative still, even with the extra advance by the ethanol. You see that the timing here is only 11.4 at 48, so that's really low. So I can have a little more in there too if I want. And we have 20 at red line. That's not that bad, but it's really only 20 pounds of boost. So really, I could be more aggressive with it. So I'm gonna reduce my map filter by 10% or so, and then I'm gonna do those changes that I did to the boost control, which I did already. We'll run that. I changed the target, and timing's okay. I'm going to add a smidge of timing to it on the ethanol side, and matte filter. So a little more timing, a little, a little less matte filter. Uh, 10 right there. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit here. Oh, 1 degree. Do I get an option for less? No. There we go. All right, there we go. Add a little more timing to it. Since I had the pump gas so conservative, I have lots of room on the ethanol to do that. And matte filter. Spray the sensors, matte filter. Okay, we'll make this 5. I said 10%. And the derivative here, we'll make this a 5 as well. Make that a 4. All right, that should do it. Let's save this. Come on, turn it around like 3 times. There it is. All right. Do you have any engine book information to read up on that? No. I have a wall of books, but I'm not sure which one would do you the most good in that. Oh, the fuel. I want to check the fuel. It was 2 lean on the top end. I don't think how lean it got at the tailpipe. I want to see what it is in the log before I do the next pull. Fuel pressure stayed. So that's good news. That's what I want to make sure. Make sure fuel pressure was good. So fuel pressure was right on target. So that's good news. Let's check my injector duty cycle. See if I maxed out my injectors. Yes. Yes, I did. Oh, shit. I really did. Is this on 1050s?
Huh?
Is this on 1050s?
I don't think so. Maybe. What injectors are in it? Yeah.
Oh. Oh. I thought they were like 13s.
Why aren't they?
I thought they were.
Don't ask me.
I thought they were. So we're at 120% duty cycle. I was like, man, that really leaned out that last pull. I need to see what my IDC was. Oh, 118. Oh, whoops.
Well, what kind of? You got a 4 regulator on this?
We can still add pressure.
Yeah, I was like, put 60 on it.
Yeah, we got some pressure to it.
Yeah.
55. What pumps are in it?
Stop. It's got a, I think it's got a rating hanger of the 450 pump.
Okay.
The pump should be there.
Okay. Whoops. That's why we do ethanol. So we can max out our injectors. Yeah, shit, we maxed that fucker thing out at 5,500 RPM. Yeah.
I lied. It had 1,700 cc injectors, but a stock fuel pump.
Yeah, right? That would definitely be my luck. No, fuel pressure was perfect. One second. Okay. Just a little bit. It's an aeromotive. They're late as fuck. Come on. Go down a smidge. That's 55 and a half. 55 and a half. It's good.
We didn't give him his hood prop back on purpose.
So he buys struts?
Don't get a hood prop, buy hood struts.
And he didn't.
No.
He said, fuck you guys. I'll do what I want. It's my car.
He just holding it up.
All right. Where's he go again? I forgot where the fuck that guy's in there. All right. See how good the it compensates. Let's see. Short-term fuel trim 0.9. Okay. We're right on lambda. Expected is 45. Fuel pressure is 45. Look at that differential there. Okay. We're still have too much. We're still gonna be way too much. So I got to pull it down. I mean, on our dyno, 1050s are usually maxed around 400 something wheel, like 440, 420 on ethanol. So I gotta lower it down. So I have to bring the boost down to pretty much where it was and rely on the ignition to really give us the extra power. Definitely cannot add in that much boost. So like this, we're just going to go 2 pounds like that and let everything else do all the work for us and see how it goes. Keep them suspended in vials for cancer therapy. Really interesting. Oh yeah, that's really interesting. Keeping particles suspended in vials. So you would accelerate the vial in the z direction at different frequencies to bring different particles or to suspend different particles. Basically, is what it sounds like you're saying. So I would take the vial and I would move it up and down, and the distance would depend on the level of sediment in the bottom, if there was sedimentation in there. But overall, a small vertical distance to try and elevate a certain particle of a certain weight in the vial. From the other ones. But is it the weight of the particle, or is it the viscosity of the fluid and density of the fluid? Because there's going to be a damping factor that the fluid has, and damping factor is going to also depend on the weight of the particle. So it's actually two-sided. The viscosity of the fluid and the weight and size of the particle, because the size of the particles dictate how much fluid it displaces in there. How much fluid each particle displaces, because that damping factor is going to be sort of like a frictional coefficient and how it moves through the fluid. How'd I do? All right, so by bumping the fuel pressure and reducing the boost, 510 wheels. We only lost 10 wheel horsepower, but the air fuel is rock steady at the target. So that's good news. The fuel pressure helped a ton, and then of course the fuel pressure and the lower boost reduced it, and then relying on the timing. Okay, so there's got to be a way of doing this, right? Is this button? What's this going to do? Add log to the current project. I just did that. That's what I heard. It was in here already. Yeah. Tools. No. Workspace. Nope. This guy. Add math channel. Scatter view. Export. Split tools. Scale groups. Overlay on existing traces. Yay! It does exist. All right. So we'll see the timing went up, which we expect. One, because I probably added some, but two, because the boost went down. So timing is up higher than it was. So we'll say before. How can I set the offsets down here? I want to match the offsets of the RPM. I want to figure out how to do that on here. Okay, so we're going to say about 5,000 RPM. What were we looking before? 42, 40. Okay, here's 5 and 51, so we're close. 16 and 12. That's a big difference in timing right there. One, because the boost was lower, as we know, and all of that. But let's go to IDC. Let's see where IDC is. Do cycle the first one, 93 to 76. I like that. 99 to 118. And the very, very top, oh, I went over 100 by a little smidge. So we nailed it. Like, we're at 100% duty at redline on this setup right now. That's a wonderful stroke of luck that we got that close. Now, what I do see, though, is some wiggles. See these wiggles right here in the IDC? Those wiggles are happening because the fuel pressure is also wiggling. So now I've got fuel pressure wiggling, and I didn't have that before. So what that tells me is that this fuel pump is angry because now the fuel pressure, instead of being 67 psi, where they prefer to be, is now 75 psi, where they don't like to be. Pretty much right on 75 psi or so. Most of the fuel pumps just tank. So you can see the Haltech here is correcting IDC based on fuel pressure that it sampled at that time. So that's a little bit of a concern in that. Interestingly, though, the fuel pressure is the same right here. So the old one, I had more boost with less initial. It came to 75. On this one, I have more initial with less boost, and it's coming to around 75. Is that right? No, that's not right. I'm looking at expected. Okay. I was like, wow, that didn't make sense. No, expected is different. 10 pounds. Yeah, there it is. Okay. All right. Am I even showing you guys this? No, I'm not, of course. I screwed you in. Let me bring this fucking logger back up. Okay. There we go. So this is the last log and the existing log. lay on top of each other. Now, as you can see right here at the beginning of the pole, we have one fuel pressure is 12.5 pounds higher than the other. 50 to 62, which is fine because there's a little more boost on one versus the other, so that's fine. But we go here, and we see here the fuel pressure is 74 versus 67. And we get right here, and the fuel pressure, once it starts to hit 75, it gets angry. And you can see as it gets angry, so does the injector duty cycle gets angry because it's trying to compensate for the issues in the fuel pressure. So that's not ideal. It's not ideal at all, unfortunately. Injector duty cycle here hits 100. It says 105, but I don't know where that's at. I don't even see that on the graph here, so I'm not sure why it says 105. Oh, right there's that hit red line. So hit 105 right there. And there's a dip in fuel pressure right here as we approach red line. So that's caused a bit of that wiggle. So right at that 75-pound mark, that's really where fuel pumps get angry. And we're seeing that right here. The tank is full. That's at it's less than just under 3/4 tank. So there's plenty of fuel on top of the pump. It's got a radium hanger in it. Right, there's plenty of weight on that. It isn't like we're sucking in vapor or anything. That's just fuel pumps hating 75 degrees or 75 psi. And we see release the water 450. I'm gonna double check real quick. I hate to search this chart and not graph. I want a graph. This graph makes more sense. Okay, so here it is. I'm gonna show you guys in a second. So this, thank you, I'm glad it's updated. Thank you so much. I'll say that's fight with fucking Windows for offers. So this one tanks at 90, actually. Looking at the graph, it tanks at 90. Now, that's not to say that it's not 90 at the pump. You know, there could be a pressure drop from the pump to the engine. Whether it's 20 psi or not, I don't know. But it is on the factory hardline. There's one factory hardline. So there's a possibility that there's that much of a drop between the two. Let's see. Let's think about that for a second. Would that make sense? Yes. Yes, that could exist. That could exist. We go to my fuel pump control. Make sure there's nothing weird happening there. No, it's 100%. Over 3,000 RPM and any level of whatever, it's 100%. So we're definitely not leaving the 100% window here on our fuel pump. So you see here over. Wait, can you see this? No, you can't. All right, pull it open again. All right, so here's our fuel pump. Can you see it? Yes, you can. Here's 2 pounds of vacuum, which we're definitely not in. We're way over that. And 3,000 RPM in this spot. So we're way up here on the graph. So we're definitely at 100% or more. Well, can't be more, but at 100%. Now, whether or not this tries to interpolate that and feed a higher percentage to the fuel pump, that I don't know. That might be something. It might try and feed 100% to it. Let's see if it tries to interpolate the fuel pump or not. Do I have fuel pump duty on here? I might need to put that on opposite state is 1, fuel pump prime pulse, current fuel density, stoichiometry. It says fuel pump output state and table. The table is 100 because that's all it goes to. So I don't know if it tries to interpolate that or not. Hello, Don speaking. Yo, what's up? $102. Okay, so we did stuff for 101. Yeah, 102 is what's that? What to say it is? Low frequency. So there's some sort of wiring issue or something. I don't know why you'd have low frequency. It doesn't make any sense at all. Um, dipstick not seated. That sounds like it'd be an evap code for anything. Um, la 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 la. Right, yeah, I'm an old Jeep. Well, maybe we can just change it to no error reported and see what happens. If it doesn't report an error for that code, then whatever. Yeah, you gotta bring it out just so I can turn that off. Yeah. Right now or tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow depends how long my tune takes me tomorrow. Let's see. Tomorrow I have a C5 Corvette starting in the morning, so just depends how long it behaves. If everything goes smoothly, like the C5s usually do for me, then I'll be done by like 2-ish, maybe sooner. So, about what? No, probably not. That'll probably be too late. Just give me a call tomorrow and figure out where you are, and we'll see what we can do. All right, dude. You're welcome. See ya. Hmm. That wiggle and fuel pressure definitely makes you wonder. Unless that's the injector is getting so close to being static that they're creating a resonance in the line. Is there like approaching static there? I don't know. But let's do the poll to find out. Fuel was good. Everything was good. Power was great. Everything was really stable. Hello? I plan on leaving here at about 20. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Um, okay. Well, um, just shoot me a call tomorrow. Let me know where you're at and how close you are. And then potentially I can meet you somewhere. Because I live in Rathdrum. If I'm not going to be here or something like that. Right. No, I couldn't do it today. We're already too late today. Yeah, but I can do it tomorrow. Okay, sounds good. All right, let's go back to our trims. Trims look good, 1%. That's great. Fuel pressure's where it is. That's all good. And yeah, it's all really good. All right, let's do one pull on this bitch. See if that does anything. I doubt it will, but we'll see. We will see. I do need to maybe lower the boost a tiny bit more. Let's go here, target pressure, let's do a 1.2. Like that, for boost control. Yes. Or no. It's probably, it's got GTR controller. It's freshly wired GTR controller. So it's got new, thicker wires and stuff, and the GTR fuel pump controller, which is the same as factory, just two of them in parallel, so larger. Yeah, that's what I thought. I lowered the boost, and it's still maxed out, so we were just right at the edge of that pump being able to hang. Did I fail to hit the fucking log? I did, didn't I? Didn't log it. Shitballs. I had it on the wrong screen. I hit the button on the wrong screen, so I didn't do any good.
Blew it up?
No, I didn't blow it up. It's fine. It's just fuel pressure's not keeping up. What's interesting is I even reduced the demand, and it still went lean again. But you see right there, two pulls in a row. It's like 3/4 of a tank. And it's radium hanger, right?
I don't know.
Oh.
Look how bad the crack is on that rod.
What's that out of?
FA?
Oh. Yeah, cracked rods are never good.
I've never seen one that bad.
Oh, really?
Look at the bits in this.
Yeah, I've seen worse.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never seen one like that. Usually a Subaru, they look almost machined. Like, they look like just sandblasted.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because I pulled apart, like...
Well, I've seen Chevy ones that were pretty bad. I haven't looked at
These are
enough.
so bad, like, you can't even put them together.
I haven't
Like,
looked at
usually they
enough
just go away.
FA ones to know.
But, like, even if I bolted it down, I doubt... you could still just fully see that crack.
That one failed?
Yeah.
What failed?
Bearing spun. Everything else was perfect. We just did a 60K on the car. Oil was mint. Clean, pulled the top.
Yeah.
Spun this rod.
Interesting. I mean, they break it, put the bearings in it, put it together again. I don't know if they remeasure it. No, they don't. They measure the hole when they machine it. It's got marks on it, but they put the bearing thickness the right one, drop in there, and put it together. Interesting. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's just such a bad break that was stopping it from
It
going to
never got
seated.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, look at the hill on that.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
And it's not like there's...
Oh, I didn't see that spot.
Like,
There's a
look
big
how
old
black it is.
there's a big old nub on it.
Yeah, this right here. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's also so you can see where it's been contacted and where it hasn't.
Exactly. That's what
Yeah, I hear there's been contact here, along there, and there, but no contact in there since it's put together.
I'm thinking this is going to fail no matter what.
And here too, look at all the old corroded oil they got in there.
Yep.
Interesting.
Another thing that's odd, that side of the rod, clean, but it's not bent.
Oh, it's machined. Wait, what's clean?
That's the crank gets so close. The crank will touch the skirt with a bad rod bearing. That's how tight they are. Look at that. There's a fucking step there where this has been running into the crank. It's been running around.
On both sides.
Well, this one, they usually have about like that, where it's just a light little brushing because this kind of walks in there.
Yep.
But like that's what they look like when there's a bent rod. I mean, it's even more severe. Then they usually have a couple witness marks like right here.
That skirt's hammered too. Look at the skirt.
Yeah, the cylinders are perfect though.
How's the head?
Little tappy is fine.
Yeah, just touch it lightly. What's the owner want to do with it?
Huh?
What's the owner want to do?
It's just a replacement short block. It's a weird series of events there.
Yeah, look at that.
It's super bad.
It's backwards now, but yeah. I would, man, I wish more people would do the fucking pistons and rods, because these things with lower compression, like half point lower compression, just run so good.
We have gigantic heads,
Well, like
ports in the heads.
well, not great to the BRZ.
Well, yeah, but still way bigger than any EJ. I don't know what the valve size is.
They're not big.
The port's great.
The BRZ ports are awesome, but the half a point lower compression and it tunes. You know that inconsistency you have with the FA mostly goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah, just half a point. Well, get a new factory block. This is piston. Flip it over. So just get a step bit. When the new pistons show up, just drill a couple holes in them and lower the compression.
I was thinking just taking it to the belt sander and decking the quench off.
There you go. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Probably right here.
Actually, I was thinking take this peak on both sides down to the quench area. That probably would do it.
Probably need more CCs than that.
I don't know. That's a lot. It goes all the way to here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good path.
Just get a mill and go.
Actually, this you could just chuck the skirt and lay them.
Yeah. Yeah, you could fly cut the top of that. Knock 20 thou off the top.
Knock.
That minus 20 thou and the whole thing down. Who needs quench? Fuck it. Quench hurts top end horsepower anyways. That's right.
Breast pin is crazy loose in the piston too.
Oh really? Let me do.
Like even if I put side load on the rod, it still slides back around.
Huh. I absolutely prefer the GTR pump over the hardwire kit. I absolutely despise that hardware kit. The hardwire kit. I despise it. Every car that's showed up with that has had issues. Like, just car after car after car. And I talked to them about it, and they said, no, that never happens, so I don't know. And I'm not talking bad about them at all. I just hate the kit. I mean, and it seems like it should work when you look at it, but, man, it really does. I don't know why, but I don't know. I hate that kit. I don't like it. I do not like it. I love a lot of the other products. Just like Grinspeed, right? I like a lot of Grinspeed products. I hate the AOS. That's just absolute shit. I don't like their turbos. I hate their blow-off valves. It's the worst one on the market. It's actually really bad. I can't believe how bad it is. To the point where I can't believe they released it. It's so bad. But I don't like the iWire pump hardwire kit at all. What the fuck am I going to do here? I forget what I want to do. Let's look at the fuel temp, see if the fuel temp is being reported correctly. Okay. What the fuck is going on? Like, how come there's no temp stuff? There we go. So I need to just change that. So let's go back to, oopsie, back to this one. Turn that off. Flex field composition. Let's go to wiring. Wiring is SPI 4. Alright, so sensors, and then, Jesus Christ, Haltech. And then turn this one off, turn that on, go here, SPI 4, there we go. Okay, flex fuel sensor still says 66, that's good. Now let's see if we can add flex fuel temp. Not there. Fuel. Fuel coolant, fuel air, fuel temp. There we go. Okay. 103 Fahrenheit. That ain't bad. 103, that is not enough to cause issues with the fuel pump. Fuel temp, input type, as mentioned, any valid options. What? That's just old errors from before. Yeah. It's, it's not on. It's not on. Enable fuel temp sensor. Okay. Wiring. Input type. It's neither. Yeah, because I'm not using it. What the fuck? Fuck you, Haltech, and your stupid shit. I'm not using it. I got it right here. It's right there. So why are you still throwing an error? Ugh. Haltech shit. Stop. The controller was a hard one. For the GTR versus Alloy hard drive. But the hardware. What? No. I mean, no. It's a regular GTR controller that he provides you wiring with. I don't like the wiring that he provides you. He's got a relay and some other shit in it. I don't like it. It's just a regular fuel pump controller. He slaps a sticker on and gives you wires for it. So I don't like his kit. It's not. It's not. Fuck. It's so annoying. Sure, save it. Fuel temp. This function of theirs. Enable fuel temp sensor. Go to sensors. Flex fuel comp sensors. Go to the functions enable disabling page. Why would I do that? Fuel temperature input type. The value doesn't match any of the valid options. It's because there's no value. It's right. Oh my god. Okay. Now this is gonna get mad. This is stupid. This is absolutely retarded. Okay. Can't show me anything. There's nothing to show. It's not analog. It's not voltage. It's not resistance. It's not type K. It's none of those things. So I don't need it. Stop giving me a fucking error, you piece of shit. What is that? What a bunch of bullshit. Okay, turn it on. No longer exists. It's gone. I turn it on, and that comes in. I'll think it's stupid. Stupid shit. Stupid shit. Following hall enable 1. Okay. Following hall enable 1. Alright, well, that's what it is. That's what we're doing. Just living with those fucking errors that don't make any goddamn sense. filter too. Oh, I feel like it dropped that time. Weird. That's weird. Honestly, that's really trippy. That's really fucking weird. That's oh, ignition duty. So I'm like, what? What's going on here? There it is. Ejector duty cycle. So even out here, it's unsteady. What's weird is that didn't happen until it didn't happen down here until I changed the fuel pump. It happened up here, which is why I changed the fuel pump. Here, it's doing it now everywhere, and we're losing pressure. And our temperature isn't that high. Apparently, it's high enough, but to that now. 39C. What's 39C? What's that? Try doing unit conversion in my head. 101. It's not bad. I usually have issues to like 120. But yeah, look how mad it is down here even. Even at 60% duty cycle, it's getting pissed off. Huh. I did lower the map filter, which shouldn't change the pump output any, because we're so high up there. That shouldn't change that at all. Yeah, it's lean again. It's getting worse. Why is it getting worse? Why is it getting worse? Could be overheating that pump, I suppose. Why is it getting worse? Look at that. Pressure didn't even stay. Pressure's almost 20 pounds low right there. Fuck! Fuck! Yeah, popular today. Oh, what's up? All right, how you doing? Well, oh, I can't hear him. I'm on the dyno. It's loud. Oh. We can do it this weekend. Nice. I look forward to seeing it. It's an '07 Legacy with a built motor and a Haltech. Flex fuel. Injectors are too small, flip pumps too small, unfortunately, but it's good otherwise. Yeah, I got into the pole here in a second. Just trying to see if I can get the fuel pressure under control or not. Doesn't look like I can. Every pull I do, the fuel pressure gets worse, even though it's only 100 degrees in the tank, which is weird. Typically, like you lose fuel pressure control like 120 or 130, but now at 100, it's freaking out. But I don't know why that is. Unless the filter's clogged or something. Say what? The ethanol sensor has built in. Yeah, I don't care. I mean, I think you guys have made dinner the last few times, right? So I think we need to do it, and then you can bring bikes over and stuff. I don't know. I gotta talk to the wife. Okay. Later, bud. All right. Let's see if changing the duty cycle on the or the frequency on the pump controller changes anything. I think it would, but it's worth trying. Nope. Yeah, it's even worse. Fuel pressure right there. It's even worse. Wait, what? Okay, so that's not an accurate pressure or temperature. Temperature can go from 102 to 75 to 102 to again. Oh, this one did the same thing afterwards. Okay, so that's not accurate temperature. It must be overheating. Okay, so it must be higher than that. I gotta adjust this temperature thing, figure out what's going on. So it's not 102. Something's wrong. Temperature sensor enable. It is in there. It's enabled. Do this. Is it the same? It's the same. Okay, so I don't want that shit. Get rid of that. And here we are. Fuel temp. Same thing. Diagnostics. That's fine. But it should turn off that. Stop reading from the sensor with this RPM. Okay, whatever. That's fine. Double check my settings. See if I fucked them up or not. Let's just double check real quick. Open the cow. See where I have the ethanol set at. I believe I have it set right. Double check with this one. Hull falling. Yeah. Okay. That's what I want. Oops. Hold on. Falling. Hull. Pull up enable. I believe that's right. Yeah, I think I pull up all the time. So if I turn that off, it definitely won't work. Yeah, see, it's all fucked up. I was like, what am I doing? So, enable the pull up. Everything is fixed. What's this guy? Producer time constant. Time constant uses filtered SPI pregnancy ratings. And one time, the result when the filter goes 63 of the way from old value to new value. 4 time constant goes 98% of the way. Okay. That seems weird. Let's go to. And see this 2. Check my temperature. 105. Okay. Oh, 75, 105. It's freaking out. 500 milliseconds. Half a second. I should fuck it up big time. I didn't fuck it up. Interesting. Fuel temp. Yeah, look that up. See if that's right. Ethanol. Content. Analyzer. Fuel temp. Frequency charts. So 125 at 5 milliseconds and negative 40 at 1. Okay. So that's totally different than what I have right now. Oh no, that's Celsius. Okay, it's probably the same fucking thing I got. Yeah. Okay, so that's the same. All right, so that's there. It's not working right though. Pops to 75 concerns me. Again, I hate Haltech. All right, well, the thing just keeps dropping pressure. Every pull I do, the pressure gets worse. Even when I lowered the boost twice, the pressure keeps getting worse. So I gotta figure something out. We were doing so good. Oh, we got some codes. I turned those codes off. Why would I have that now? That's weird. Okay. All right, look at my rocks section. Let's do that real quick. No knock direction. 45 dB. Okay. Looks good. I like that. Just don't like the fuel pressure dropping. So that's what I got to figure out. Figure out why the fuel pressure keeps dropping. Something tells me that fuel pressure, that fuel temp sensor is not accurate. That's what I'm going with. But otherwise, other than that, everything went really good. I just wish that we had more fuel flow. Lower this. Wow. I'll show you guys this in a second. Dyno keeps. There it goes. Works. Hopefully, it's still here or not. 7 people, concurrent viewers. Alrighty. Alright, I'll show you this dynograph. Zoom my camera in here, and I'll put the dynograph in front so you can see where we're at and where we have to stop, unfortunately, because of the issue with fuel pressure. Close all the Haltech shit real quick. Alright. Up a little bit. I'm gonna like somehow check the screen and see if it's showing at the same time. It's all backwards. Can't figure this out. Best I can do. Trying to look around my screen while I show you a screen of a screen of a screen. Anyway, so 492 is where I'm going to stop. 492.7 or 493. Yeah, 493.7. But even then, I got to turn down a little bit more because fuel pressure is dropping like a rock. So it's got to be addressed. I got to talk to the guys. I got to talk to the owner. Figure out what we're going to do about it. Anyways, that's it. Hopefully you learned something about PID controls on turbos again, since I cover that a lot. Hopefully you got something about resonance. I'm curious, Mark, you didn't answer my question about how I did with the levitating particles in fluid, so maybe tell me about that. What else did we talk about? Resonance, boost, fuel pressure stuff. I guess that's it. So anyways, there's stuff I guess. I'm going to go try and fix this car somehow. And so I hope y'all have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow.